Without a doubt, having a small workshop has its own set of unique challenges, with the biggest one I think is having a static workbench that doesn't suck up all that precious space. Which, by the way, is why I made that portable pool table a couple of months ago that stores neatly and hangs on your wall. So in today's video, I'm going to make a very simple folding workbench on casters that you can wheel out, use, fold up and then store away nice and neatly till the next time you need it. Let's go. The first thing we need to do is to cut all the pieces for the two ends of the workbench. And if you want all the measurements and resources to build this cracking little project, make sure you keep watching as I'll leave a link to follow a little later on in the video. With the pieces cut, grab yourself a handful of screws and assemble the two end frames. Now the awesome thing about this project is that there is no fancy joinery, which is right up my alley. So as long as you follow the plans, you can't go wrong. In theory. Now with both of those frames finished, all we need to do now is on both sides, on each of those frames, is attach a strip of plywood which we'll be screwing our hinges to. Now I'll be cutting my plywood on top of my workbench only because I've got a pretty bad knee and I can't bend down. But if you haven't got a workbench, which is probably why you're watching this video in the first place, just grab yourself a couple of pieces of wood or timber, place them on the ground, then drop your plywood on top of those, and away you go. Too easy. Now just a quick tip regarding the sheet of plywood that we're using. This one here is 2.4 by 1200 or 8 foot by 4 foot. And to get the most out of this, cut the hinge strips off the side, and for the folding arms, cut them off the end, which will leave us plenty left over to cut the top of the bench from. Since we're talking about benches, what do you call 7 white guys sitting on a bench? The NBA. Classic. I know, you don't need to tell me, I know where it is. It's over here. The door. I'm going through a bit of a black colour phase at the moment, so these wooden frames are going to be painted. Patch up the holes and then smooth over the end grain with spack filler to achieve a nice clean finish. Then apply an undercoat, followed by 2 coats of acrylic gloss black enamel paint. Now with both of those notches cut out, all we need to do is just simply attach that to the inside edge of our workbench frame with 3 screws. Now this strip is what we'll be attaching our hinges to, but before we screw anything in place, I just want to run a quick chamfer down the outside edge of all those strips just to make it look a bit snazzier. Now just a quick tip regarding our hinge and the board. With the board hard up against our spacer, run it back until it just kisses the edge of that hinge pin, and then you're ready to screw the hinge in place. Now when it comes time to attaching these two halves together with our strap hinge, grab yourself a couple of pieces of wood and a couple of clamps which will hold things together nice and tightly, and that'll make screwing on this hinge a lot easier. Okay folks, fingers crossed this had better work. Okay, the arms, they fold in like that. It's folding. What an absolute little ripper. I love it. All I'm doing here is just adding some edge banding to the underside of the bench top. This beefs up the edge of the table and gives the appearance of it being thicker than it actually is. Smoke and mirrors, people, smoke and mirrors. Apart from that, it looks good, and when screwed in place will prevent the bench top from sliding off as it fits snugly over the outside of the workbench frame. Chamfering the top of the bench top with your router takes off that sharp edge and makes it look so much classier. Because as you know, we're all about class over here at DIY for Knuckleheads. Now because these folding arms are attached with hinges, they tend to bend in at that pivot point. So to help keep those arms straight, and to make them strong, I've just made these quick little brackets that simply slide over those joints, which helps keep those folding arms nice and straight. Beautiful. Now check this out, with the bench top fully folded together, it measures up to a minuscule 180 millimeters, which is about 7 inches, which means that this could easily fit inside a cupboard, which I find totally amazing. Now with those wheels recently attached, if we unlock the unit, and then I'll just show you how easy this is to unfold. Look at that, no effort whatsoever. Now, like before, to finish it off, we just need to place these blocks over the joins on those swinging arms, and then we're ready to place on the bench top, which just simply fits over that frame, just like that. And there you have it. What an absolutely cracking little project, which I think is essential for any small workshop. Now, if you want to see more content just like this, make sure you check out my how to build a workbench video, which should be popping up over there very shortly. Now, if you found some value in today's tutorial, please consider a small donation to my Buy Me a Coffee fund, which I'll link to up there and also down below, as that helps me to keep the lights on over here at DIY for Knuckleheads, which enables me to produce more content for you guys. Alrighty, after all that, I'm off for a cup of tea. So till next time, be good, be safe, and I'm out of here. Cheers.